We've all been there. Students frantically asking how many points an assignment is worth, calculating the bare minimum they need to maintain a certain grade, and essentially missing the point of language learning altogether. This frustrating scenario is a symptom of a grading system that's become more of a hindrance than a help. It obscures what we, as language educators, really care about: genuine comprehension and skill development. But don't worry, this isn't a hopeless case. Are you ready to move past these problems and foster an environment where grades truly reflect language proficiency? That's where proficiency-based grading comes in as the game changer we've all been waiting for. It tackles the inherent flaws of traditional grading by prioritizing what matters most: real-world language skills. This approach helps create a culture focused on mastery and continuous improvement, which is crucial for second language acquisition. In today's video, I'll dissect the top 5 pitfalls of the traditional grading system, from its lack of consistent feedback to the way it fuels student stress, and unveil how proficiency-based grading not only addresses but solves these issues. It's time to transform how we assess our students, making our classrooms more effective, engaging, and aligned with our educational goals. So stick around, you won't want to miss this. My name is Scott, and you're watching Immediate Immersion, where we're all about comprehension-based instruction in the modern language classroom. And we'll be right back. Problem number 1. The classic issue of skill assessment, or rather, the lack of it, in traditional grading systems. We've all seen it. You give out homework assignments, quizzes, maybe even some extra credit for class participation. But at the end of the day, can we truly say these grades reflect a student's ability to speak or understand a new language? Not really. The metric is just off. Now let's talk about proficiency-based grading. This approach is the antidote to our skill assessment woes. Forget rote memorization of vocabulary lists or the dreaded conjugation drills. Proficiency-based grading zeroes in on real-world language skills. Can the student hold a conversation? Can they understand a written text or make sense of spoken language in various contexts? These are the questions we start asking and assessing with proficiency-based grading. And get this, the real beauty of proficiency-based grading is that it enables us to track student progress more accurately. With traditional grading, you might have a student who can ace every written test but struggles to string a sentence together in real life. That's a missed opportunity for us as educators to intervene and guide the student towards genuine skill development. With proficiency-based grading, those gaps become glaringly obvious, giving us a chance to address them head-on. So not only are you assessing more relevant skills, but you are also gaining a clearer picture of each student's individual learning journey. Sounds like a win-win, don't you think? Problem number 2, the notorious gaming the system, a phenomenon we all encountered in our teaching careers. With traditional grading, some students turn into tactical experts, figuring out just what they need to do to scrape by. They aim to score enough points to do the bare minimum on homework and cram for quizzes, all without really grasping the essence of the language. It's like they've mastered the art of taking tests, but not the actual subject matter. A bit ironic, isn't it? Now let's pivot to proficiency-based grading. This system is the equivalent of shaking up the game board. Suddenly, those old tactics don't work anymore. Why? Because it's hard, if not impossible, to get a good grade without truly understanding the language. There's no shortcut to being able to comprehend a conversation or read a newspaper article in another language. It's not about how well you can fill in a multiple choice answer sheet. It's about how well you can communicate and understand. And here's the real kicker. Proficiency-based grading shifts the focus from just accruing points to actually meeting learning goals and developing tangible skills. Instead of a point-based economy, the classroom turns into a skill-building workshop. No more, how many points is this worth? Instead, you'll hear, how can I improve my speaking? Or what do I need to focus on to understand this text better? And honestly, that's the kind of change that not only improves grades, but sets students up for real-world success. Wouldn't you agree? Problem number 3, inconsistent feedback. The ever-present thorn in the side of traditional grading systems. We've all dealt with it. Grading happens at random intervals. Maybe a quiz here, a project there, and before you know it, the semester's over and the final grades are in. But what about the roadmap along the way? It's like taking a long road trip with signs that pop up only once every 100 miles. You're likely to get lost or veer off course. And let's not even get started on feedback that amounts to nothing more than a circled number or letter grade. Not exactly the stuff of constructive criticism, is it? Enter proficiency-based grading, the GPS for our road trip metaphor. With this approach, assessment is an ongoing process, offering consistent and frequent benchmarks. No more stumbling in the dark. Students get regular check-ins that actually tell them how they're doing in real time. It's not about slapping a B- and calling it a day. It's about saying your conversational skills are improving, but your reading comprehension skills need a bit more focus. And the best part? The feedback in a proficiency-based grading system is tailored to specific proficiency goals. No vague comments like needs improvement or good job. Instead, you get actionable insights like work on using the subjunctive in context or focus on understanding main ideas in the listening exercises. Now, that's the kind of feedback that not only helps students understand where they stand, but also gives them the tools to actually get better. It's all about continuous improvement, and honestly, that's how we keep pushing the needle forward in language education. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Problem number 4, the one-size-fits-all approach. You and I both know how misleading that phrase can be, especially when it comes to grading in the language classroom. Traditional grading systems often put all the students into the same box, regardless of their unique learning styles. It's as if we're trying to fit square pegs into round holes and wondering why it doesn't work. You might have a student who excels in written exams, but freezes up in oral assessments, or vice versa. In a traditional system, one of these skills would inevitably get overlooked, and that's doing a disservice to our students. But that's where the beauty of proficiency-based grading comes in. It's flexible. This approach allows for differentiated instruction, meaning you can adapt your teaching and assessment methods to suit each student's individual learning style. Imagine a classroom where assessments aren't just a dreaded obligation, but an opportunity for students to showcase their abilities in a way that's most natural to them. With proficiency-based grading, you can tailor assessments to meet these different styles. If a student shines in oral communication but struggles with writing, you can design assessments that evaluate both, but in appropriate measures. The goal here is a more holistic understanding of a student's language proficiency, which can only happen when we recognize and adapt to their unique learning styles. Now that's what I call leveling the playing field and giving every student a fighting chance at mastering the language. Wouldn't you agree? If what we've discussed today resonates with you and you're looking to make a tangible shift in your grading approach, then you'll definitely want to check out our Assessment Academy. This comprehensive program goes beyond the surface level problems, offering 10 in-depth sessions that cover all aspects of proficiency-based grading and assessments. Whether you're new to this methodology or just looking to refine your existing practices, the Assessment Academy is designed to arm you with the tools, strategies, and insights you need to create a more effective and engaging language learning environment. Don't miss out on this opportunity to level up your assessment game and really make an impact on your students' language acquisition journey. Click the link in the description to join the Assessment Academy and be a part of this transformative educational experience. Because, let's be honest, the way we grade today shapes how our students approach learning tomorrow. So let's get it right. And last but not least, problem number 5, the stress and anxiety that traditional grading often brings. With traditional grading, there's this constant pressure to perform well in all types of assessments, from homework to tests to oral presentations. And let's face it, this kind of pressure cooker environment doesn't exactly inspire a love for learning, does it? Instead of focusing on improvement and growth, students are often too wrapped up in avoiding failure. But what if I told you proficiency-based grading could be the proverbial umbrella that shields students from this stress storm? By putting the emphasis on progress and mastery, this approach lowers the anxiety levels considerably. It's not about getting an A on one test. It's about demonstrating consistent growth over time. Suddenly, assessments become more like checkpoints on a journey rather than final destinations. And here's the cherry on top. Proficiency-based grading fosters a more supportive learning environment. With less stress hanging in the air, there's more room for constructive feedback, peer collaboration, and yes, even a little bit of fun. When students know they're being evaluated on their progress and individual mastery rather than a generic scale, it creates a psychological safety net. They're more likely to take risks, engage with the material, and ultimately come out with a deeper understanding of the language. Now that's what I call turning the tide on stress and anxiety. Don't you agree? We've covered a lot of ground, from inconsistencies in feedback to undue stress students face. And we've seen how a proficiency-based approach can turn these challenges into opportunities for growth. If you're as jazzed as I am about making this shift, then remember, you don't have to go it alone. Our Assessment Academy is tailored to help you navigate this transition with ease. So if you found value in this video and you're eager to make a lasting impact on your students' language learning journey, give that like button some love and don't forget to subscribe for more insights. And hey, questions and experiences are always welcome in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy comprehensible input.